This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, keeping you informed about the happenings in Annapolis and the area. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and of course, local weather. The Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Tuesday, January 21st, 2020. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. The Anne Arundel County Police Department had their hands full over the weekend. On Friday night at about 9:30 p.m. in the 1400 block of Braden Loop, they responded for an armed robbery of a citizen. When they got there, they found out that the victim was in front of his girlfriend's house, parked in his vehicle waiting for her to come out. Two suspects approached him, advised him that they had just watched him retrieve money from an ATM and demanded the money. One of the suspects did pull a handgun, and the victim did comply with the demands, and the suspects fled the area. About an hour later, and with a very similar M.O., at 10:10 p.m. in the 200 block of Southbridge Drive, police also responded to another armed robbery. The male victim reported that he had arrived home, parked his vehicle along the curb in front of his apartment building. As he was getting out of his vehicle, he was approached by two suspects, one of which produced a handgun. The one suspect forced the victim back into the driver's seat, and the second suspect got into the back seat of the vehicle. They held him at gunpoint while they searched through his pockets, removed his keys, loose cash, and fled the area. Both of these crimes are being investigated by the Northern District detectives, and anybody that may have any information, maybe some surveillance cameras or saw something, give them a call at 410-222-6135, or you can do an anonymous tip line at 410-222-4700. On Saturday, up in Pasadena, in the 7700 block of Sauerbacher Avenue, the police responded to a report of shots fired. When they got there, they found out that Thomas Cragen had had an argument with a neighbor earlier. He exited his house and fired 3 rounds into the ground after the verbal altercation. Prior to the police arriving on the scene, Cragen retreated back into the house, and there was a brief standoff while they called in the Special Operations Section. Cragen eventually did exit the residence and was taken into custody without any further incident. He was charged with the first-degree assault, second-degree assault, reckless endangerment, and discharging a firearm within 100 yards of a residence. All right, let's see if we can find a better story and get away from all this negativity here. Oh, here's a good one. Are you aware of the Apprenticeship Maryland Program? This started out as a pilot program in just a few areas back in 2016, but now it's being expanded across to the entire state. It's designed for Maryland public school students, anyone 16 and older, as a pipeline into a job that they're trained for and can transition to full-time immediately after graduation. It does require 450 hours of work and educational instruction, but what it does is it sets up a clear path for the students to go into their career field, working and getting paid while they get their diploma, and learning how to succeed in that career once they get out. Students that are interested in the program should talk to their counselor at school and get an application packet to fill out. You want to tell them you want the Apprenticeship Maryland Program. And if you want any more information on it, you can go to marylandpublicschools.org. And it's not real obvious on the front page there, but there's a search box, and just search for apprenticeship. And that will be the very first result that you get there. Really kind of a great way for those that are not looking to go into school to get paid, to get trained, and also for employers to get quality people working for them and have a pipeline filled with quality people. Great move by the Maryland Department of Education. And as we wrap up, it is Ticket Tuesday from the Ram's Head on stage. And once again, we have great seats right there on the corner of the stage, courtesy of Ram's Head on stage. And this one is for the January 29th show of Davy Knowles. This will be a fun show. And if you're into Manx blues and a great guitarist and singer, Davy Knowles is an artist that you do want to see. You may have known him formerly from the blues rock band Backdoor Slam. Want to go see Davy Knowles? Just send out a tweet saying, I might get to see Davy Knowles, courtesy of the Ram's Head on stage and Eye on Annapolis and the Daily News Brief. Throw a hashtag of DNB, and I will pick a winner today at 6 p.m. All right, that does it for the top news today. Please make sure you're checking out eyeonannapolis.net throughout the day, because we do update it throughout the day. If you're someplace you can give us a recommendation or a review, please do that as well. Other than that, you want to hang tight. I've got a bit of an opinion piece, and we also have George Young with your local DMV weather forecast, as we have every day. He's coming up in just 1 minute.
Hey, Annapolis, Eastern Shore, and Anne Arundel County. My name's Rick Peters, and I'm the president of Solar Energy Services in Millersville, Maryland. Need a new job in the new year to help take you in a different direction? Maybe you aren't feeling fulfilled in your current job and want to be part of the excitement and growth of the clean energy industry. Consider coming to work for Solar Energy Services and give yourself a new career and fresh start at a company that not only offers competitive pay and benefits, but also cares about our employees as much as we care about our customers. That says a lot because we've been in business for over 40 years and we know how to provide 5-star service. Visit solarsaves.net or call 410-923-6090 today. We are hiring immediately for solar installers, drafting specialists, and commercial project managers as we prepare for another great year. Are you up for the challenge? Apply today. Sunshine's a-wastin'.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
Going out? You need the most up-to-date local weather. Here's George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis with today's forecast.
Hey everyone, this is George with DMV Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Tuesday, January 21st. Yesterday was a cold one, and today will be as well, but with less wind, so it won't feel quite as bad out, especially with tons of sunshine. Then comes more sun tomorrow with highs a bit warmer near the 40-plus degree mark, ahead of fairly sunny skies both Thursday and Friday, and slightly above average temps in the 45 to 51 degree range before rain and 50s on Saturday ahead of clearing, and upper 40s on Sunday to close out the weekend. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DMV Weather. Make it a great day out there, and be sure to get our free app on all of your devices by searching the Apple or Google App Stores for DCMDVA Weather. And also follow us on Facebook and Twitter and on our website at dmvweather.com so you can always stay weather informed.
Here's to the teacher who spends her weekend helping children who need a little extra attention. To the soldier who missed the birth of his baby while serving overseas. To the EMT working full-time and taking night classes. To the police officers and firefighters working long hours away from their families to keep our families safe. Here's to you, our hometown heroes. I'm Alan Hyatt, Chairman and President of Severn Bank, and we know there are many heroes among us. Men and women who serve without expecting anything in return. Which is why we're honored to offer our Hometown Heroes program to educators, law enforcement officers, firefighters, first responders, healthcare workers, and military personnel. Whether you're opening a checking account or buying a new home, we're here to give back to you. Learn more about our Hometown Heroes program at severnbank.com. Severn Bank, here with you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
So many different stories in the news, and everyone has an opinion. Here's ours.
We all know that Maryland and practically every other state has a problem with opioids. We have for several years, and while some recent numbers are encouraging, there's a lot of work yet to be done. Recently, there were some numbers released about the 2019 overdoses and overdose deaths in the city of Annapolis. 2019 had a 4-year high in Annapolis with 13 overdose deaths. There were 11 in 2018 and 12 in 2017. Yes, it's a record, and statistically, it's a pretty big swing. Another notable aspect of the statistics were that the majority of overdose deaths were not city residents. And of the overdoses, 65% were not Annapolis residents. Of course, we all know that the city and the county are teaming up to figure it all out. And in an article for the Capitol earlier this month, the Anne Arundel County Health Officer, Dr. Nilesh Kalyanaraman, said that it was, quote, hard to understand the problem with so few people involved, unquote. The city's Office of Emergency Management Director, Kevin Simmons, told the Capitol that, quote, the exact reason why so many non-Annapolitans are overdosing in the city's limits won't be determined without further investigation, unquote. Sorry, guys. It doesn't take too much to figure this one out. Look at the map for the county. Where are the majority of the overdoses and deaths generally? Glen Burnie / Brooklyn Park and Annapolis. Sure, there are others in all corners of the county, but those are the two hotspots. So why there? Well, that's where the drugs are. It is that simple. People travel to Annapolis and Glen Burnie or Brooklyn Park to buy their drugs, and I think this is pretty obvious. So why the deaths and overdoses? Well, let me craft an analogy for you. You're homeless. You've not had a bite to eat for days. You're hungry. Now someone gives you a number 7 meal from McDonald's. What do? Do you go home, set out the placemat, get a napkin, Get some silverware and begin your dining experience? Hell no, you unwrap that burger and you jam it into your mouth as fast as you can. Addiction is no different. You need that fix of heroin. You go up, you buy your heroin, and the last thing you're going to do is head home to use it. You will likely consume it right there where it was bought. No additional studies are needed here, folks. What is needed is to determine a way to get the drugs out of Annapolis or Glen Burnie and Brooklyn Park. That's a tall order for sure, but this is the solution. We will never eliminate the drug problem in my lifetime, but through continued education, and I want to be very clear here, the city, the county, and the state have done a terrific job so far on education. But continued education and enforcement by the police will go an awful long way. The third prong of this attack needs to be the judiciary, and we're getting better. For the longest time, criminals from Prince George's County would do their crimes in Anne Arundel County because they knew that judges were more lenient. How lenient? Does anyone remember the judge who, instead of sentencing a man for assault and robbery, gave him $25 out of his pocket and told him to go back to Baltimore and not come back? There are new justices on the bench, and they are getting tougher, and that's a good sign. But until the dealers understand that Annapolis and Glen Burnie or Brooklyn Park are bad places to deal, it will continue. And we will continue to see more and more non-residents overdosing and dying on our streets. And that's what I'm thinking today.
When a ring from the United States Naval Academy comes into Zachary's for a center stone, it always makes us wonder, where's this one going? Where's this one been? A nuclear sub in the North Atlantic? A carrier deck in the South Pacific? The moon? 52 astronauts are Academy graduates, from Iwo Jima to Okinawa, Corregidor to the Coral Sea, Midway to the Persian Gulf, Congress to the White House. These rings go where America goes. 73 that went to war were awarded the Medal of Honor. But wherever they go, wherever they may serve, our admiration goes with them.
Zachary's. Online at zacharysjewelers.com. More than a jewelry store, a jeweler.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., keeping you informed with the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. And take a moment to listen to our other podcast, The Maryland Crabs, released every Thursday at noon.